Hi, I'm Nikeese. I Can Relate is a podcast for teens, about teens, and by teens. It's made possible by the generosity of Lisa McCares. Lisa McCares is a nonprofit coalition organization focused on promoting healthy behaviors and activities for youth and families. I Can Relate is produced by Fredcast, Think, Speak, Act.
Welcome back to I Can Relate, a podcast by teens, for teens, and about teens. I'm Isabel, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Ellie, and I'm a senior.
I'm Lauren, and I'm a senior.
Today we're going to be talking about womanhood. At my high school, there's a club called Girls United, and we talk about current events in women's lives. And we do things like hygiene drives, and we make posters, and we just kind of hang out and just talk about women and the struggles in our lives.
For reference, Isabel and I go to the same high school, and I've been a part of Girls United since my sophomore year, I think. And I'm really excited that she joined up with it because, not many people really know about Girls United. I feel like even though there's 40, 50 members. But Lauren, I know that you go to a high school near us. What about you?
Yeah, I was going to say, at least my high school, we don't have it. We don't have, the closest hygiene drive was done by a different club, but there is nothing like that.
Do you feel like there's a big population of women who try to empower womanhood at your school, or is it just kind of something that's not really talked about? Because you guys have a BSU, right? Black Student Union.
Yes. Don't get me started.
Oh, okay.
That's a whole issue in itself.
Yeah, so Black Student Union's a lot like Girls United because it's more of I guess kind of a minority type club, in the sense that it's a bunch of students who get together. You obviously do not have to be black or a girl to join either one of these clubs, but they're just bring you together and highlight issues that those minorities face in everyday life and everyday culture. And I think what's really unique about Girls United is that it's really supportive. Obviously at school, you said you do hygiene drives at your school, right, Lauren? And you guys don't even have a Girls United, but you guys are still supporting women. Yeah, but with Girls United, we literally meet to talk about how we can better support women. And we do multiple hygiene drives throughout the year, and we had over 200 boxes of tampons, I think, or something like that donated this year for our first hygiene drive. And we really try to plaster that image all around school and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the first hygiene drive that I know of in my 4 years, and it did okay.
Yeah, not well. Yeah, because we have our own Instagram. We made a huge banner. Isabel and I helped make the banner. We hung it up, and we put it right in the commons next to where all the cheer banners go and our section leader banners go. So it was right there in front of everybody's faces when they were at lunch, and it really, it got a lot of support, honestly. And I was just really happy with the community and, the turnout about it.
Yeah.
But, other than that, obviously in Girls United, we talk about, issues that women face. What do you guys think are some of the biggest issues that women face these days?
I think a number one is just, women are just, heavily regulated.
What do you mean?
So, one thing specifically is dress codes.
Oh my God, yes.
Dress codes are heavily aimed towards women.
Yeah. They don't even say that. They don't say women can't wear. They just say no spaghetti straps. Have you guys ever seen a guy wear spaghetti straps? Because I have not. Or no crop tops. What guy is showing up to school in a crop top? Yeah, there's a couple, but my point is they are very obviously targeted towards women. Or no booty shorts. They used to have to be down to our fingertips. That's obviously changed now, but that was literally 3 or 4 years ago that was code.
There is a guy at my school.
Nuh-uh.
And he wears crop tops.
I love that.
And it is really funny because I don't think he has ever been dress coded.
Really?
But they're...
Yeah, because, why would they dress code him? Because he doesn't, he's not a woman. He doesn't have breasts like a woman would have that, would show, if he was wearing a crop top. So, in that sense, I extremely agree that it's targeted towards women. But they'll let guys walk down the hallway with, wearing a crop top with their, midriff out, and then they'll also let them wear like the cut off shirts that don't have sleeves or whatever with their nips out, like, and I'm just like, I don't want to go to school and like see your entire chest, like, can you wear a little bit of clothing? It's not really decent. But then they don't want us wearing things that are like tight on us. Like private school kids, they can't even wear leggings. Even if they don't have a dress code, they still are not allowed to wear leggings. No tight fitting clothes.
Charlie, how do you feel about this?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Charlie's a guy.
Oh yes, I'm here. Apparently.
Hi Charlie.
This-
Special guest Charlie on the podcast with us today.
Yes, again. This is 2 episodes now in a row that I'm in. Not normal. I read this story a while back about this one kid in a private school who, like in the middle of summer, part of their student uniform for guys was that they had to wear pants, and this guy really wanted to wear shorts because it was hot out, kind of had to, but that wasn't allowed as part of the uniform. So this guy showed up in a skirt instead, because that was part of the girls' uniform. Mm-hmm. And then it started a whole thing among the all the guys in the student body.
Oh my goodness. I think honestly part of the reason, because like at our school, Isabel, like we don't have a dress code really anymore, and that's because of like an administrator we had who was a woman. She was like, I don't think it's very fair that these girls can't wear like similar stuff to what the guys can wear. And I think honestly a lot of it was brought around when like transgender rights and like sexual type rights were becoming big in the news, because people started like cross-dressing more often. And so it kind of turned into, like you were saying, Lauren, how that guy at your school wears crop tops. Like, is that okay for a guy to wear at school and then not a girl? Like, where does that line like end? So now like our official dress code at our school, Isabel, is we just have to cover like the inappropriate parts of your body, and you can wear whatever you want, which I think is very progressive and very great. I love that we have that freedom now to express everything that we want to wear. I mean, Isabel, this is your freshman year at West, so you really haven't known any different. But did you guys have a dress code in middle school?
Oh yeah, we had a dress code in middle school.
Did you guys have to do like the fingertips with your like? Yeah.
Yeah, and we had this PE teacher, and she was very much into the dress code.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and like, but the crazy thing is that she would wear things that were against the dress code.
No, literally, the
and then
teachers
she'd
be
be
not
like-
dressing in dress code.
And then she'd be like, "You're wearing a razorback," and we're like, "Don't you have a?" Well, it's different because I'm a teacher.
Wait, are you talking about like the athletic tops, like the tank tops or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
she's like, "You need to put a jacket on."
No, thank you. But that does bring up like a great point about like covering up like, the private parts of our bodies as women. Like, do you guys not like, have you guys ever experienced like being like sexualized? Because I know we talk about how like the media sexualizes women. Like there's like Centerfold magazine or like the bunnies or like things like that really sexualize our bodies and somewhat make us more like material. I mean, have you guys ever experienced that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of like any specific examples right now, but there are just a lot of times where I'll be in public and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. I actually remember, Isabel, my freshman year, I got catcalled in our hallway by a senior boy. And it made me very uncomfy, but that was my very first experience to like anything like that, because like when you're in middle school, like you're like, oh my gosh, I have a crush on that guy, or like maybe you've had your first kiss, right? But you really don't know what it means to be like like any kind of like sexual health or like any kind of like sexual experience like that, and then being like put in a position like that where like you feel kind of violated, it's very weird and uncomfy, and I think it happens a lot more than a lot of people notice.
Yeah, like if I'm going in the grocery store or something, like there's this one time when I was going in the grocery store and there was like this adult man. He was just like looking at me, and I could tell he was following me down the aisles.
Yeah.
And so eventually I was like, I have a little brother and he's like 10, and I was like, hey, can you just like stand next to me, because and I think that's just like crazy, because like we should be able to go in public places and feel safe and not feel like we're being followed or watched.
Yeah. I will say, like, I don't want to stereotype people, but there is like a specific group of men I feel like that I notice tend to like look at my butt or something, because like I feel like I have like a little bit larger of a butt, so like they tend to look at me when like I'm walking away, right? And I'll have my boyfriend like stand behind me so that nobody will look, because I've caught people looking before. Like I remember one time I was going into a Quick Trip and like I caught like some random like old guy in his like truck that he was driving, like just staring at me, and one of them, I've seen a guy take a picture of me before.
Yeah.
It's very awkward and not okay, and nobody says anything about it, because like as a woman, like if you see somebody take a picture of like your butt per se, right? Okay, do you say anything to them?
I try to.
Yeah. I
I
feel awkward saying something. I'm like, did you just take a picture of my butt? Like,
Yeah. When stuff happens, me and my friend's favorite thing to do is just like stare right at them.
no, I do that too. Or like I'll like low key like flip them off. Like I'll put my middle finger like on my back or whatever. So if they look, like they also see that I know they're looking at me. I've also done the thing where like I turn my phone around in my back pocket and like turn my video camera on to see how many people look at it. It's ridiculous. And like I don't understand why that's okay. Like it's just not.
I feel like a lot of people say too, like, well, if you don't want people looking, then like don't dress like that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Literally stop. Why am I having to change my like life because you're immature?
Yeah, because a lot of people like, oh, if you wear crop tops, you're just trying to like show off your body to impress guys. But like personally, it's just what I feel comfortable.
Maybe they're
in.
more comfy. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe it looks better on my body than or like something else, or it just so happens that like there's a cute like design on this crop top or whatever, and it's just how I choose to express myself. It's not for anyone else but me.
And like you said, like how it looks on my body, that when we say that stuff, it's not for men, it's for us. Like we look in the mirror and like girls just genuinely, like there's this, like an actual study done that we look in the mirror more than men do, and like that's because like we're looking for like imperfections and like things like that, and like we take pride in like makeup and hair, right? Because like it's to an extent an art, right? So is dressing. But my point with that is that we care more about what we're wearing than they do, and that's why we dress specific ways. But I mean, other than that, like I know specifically oh my gosh, I was at work the other night and I'm a server. There's another server at my like job. I'd never met him before. And I felt like he had looked me up and down. I felt really uncomfortable about it. And then like I went on with like doing other like cleaning stuff up, right? And I felt like it had happened again. Like I just got that, like, you know, that feeling you get when like somebody's like, yeah, y'all are nodding your heads. And my coworker, who's another woman, she's a little bit older than me, she said that he was like trying to like touch her arm and like started trying to touch the side of her breast. And then we ended up later finding out from our manager that he had been fired for sexual harassment before. So I mean, I think women kind of have an intuition with it.
Yeah, like, okay, we had this teacher in middle school, and there had been, like, rumors of him going around.
Also know who you're talking about as well.
Kind of being, like, creepy and, like, touching girls' hair and touching their shoulder and, like, leaning over them and, like...
Hashtag Team Green.
Yeah. And I was just, like... And, like, it hadn't happened to me personally, but just knowing that it happened to other people made me, like, so uncomfortable. Like, in that class, I did not ask for help from the teacher. Like, I was just, like, trying to avoid it. And it was scary. I was scared of being in that class.
That's so interesting to me because, like, you were there 4 years after me, and, like, that was a rumor when I was there, which makes me, like, even more concerned about it. And, like, there's teachers right now at our high school that are, like, they kind of have that, like, persona around them and stuff.
Yeah, and like I've always was kind of like maybe I should say something or whatever, but then I was thinking like, I mean, I have only heard about it, so what if it's not true?
Yeah, what if it's not true? You don't want to like make an accusation or judge somebody.
Yes. And I don't have any personal experience, so like if they were to like call me up to office like, oh, like what do you have to tell me about this? And it's just like, I just heard a rumor, they're not going to take you seriously.
Yeah. Charlie, not to like make you uncomfortable, but I mean, have you ever heard like men talking about women in like an objectifying way, or like witnessed or heard anything about that?
Not like, sorry, I forgot about the microphone rule.
Yeah.
Not like in person in the hallways. I normally have my earbuds in. I drown out the world with music, you know, so I never hear people. Like the one time I wasn't doing that, the only thing I heard was this was in freshman year. These two guys, one of them says, "We're kings of this school," and I just stare at them like, "What are you on about, man? You're not even kings of your bedroom.
Oh,
I didn't actually say that, but I wanted to say that.
You became an earbud guy after that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, at least at my school, there are 2 specific teachers that every semester there's one girl who always goes, "He was staring down my shirt every day."
Oh my god.
And I took his class second semester of my junior year, and I walk in and he is scanning everybody.
wow.
He is looking up and down. His neck snapped every
No.
time a girl came in the room.
Gross.
And I couldn't even ask this man a question. I
Oh my
was so
gosh.
like dumbfounded.
Yeah, and like that impacts like your mental well-being, like in class and being able to focus.
And, you know, like if you're gonna do it, at least, I hate to say it, be a little more respectful about it.
yeah.
This man did it in the most obvious way, and it was terrifying because he would just come up behind you to answer a question, and his neck would turn, and he would stare down your shirt, and he would talk to you while he was doing it.
Yeah, that's gross. I don't like that at all. But we have teachers at our school that do that. Like, okay, like rumor. I'm not really sure, but the girl the girl it happened to is the one who said it. She said that one of our teachers ate lunch with her in her car. She was a
No.
sophomore, and it was a male teacher.
No.
I don't know that that's true, but it came from the girl who it happened to.
Okay, I wasn't here for this, and I did not hear from the original girl, but apparently this teacher also stuck his hand in the pocket of this girl's pants.
Nuh-uh.
And
Like the back pocket or like the front
the
pocket?
front pocket.
No!
And she was like
That loud.
sitting down, and she was wearing like some like, I don't know, like sweatpants or
Yeah.
something. And he goes, "Wow, those look
Ew.
comfy."
Bro.
And then like stuck his hand in it and like her
Get
thigh.
away.
It was
Mm-mm.
the first time I heard that, I like actually gagged
Yeah.
because I was like drinking water, and that's not what I expected to come out of her mouth. So I like started choking. I was like, "You can't, no."
I'm just confused why guys think this is okay. Like, why can you touch us? Like, I never go up to a guy and I'm just like, oh my gosh, your muscles, or oh my gosh, this shirt is so soft. Like, I don't want to touch you. Why are you touching me?
Did we all not learn in kindergarten that we don't have to
No,
put our hands on our
yes.
friends?
No, you have to ask for a hug, and you have to you have to signal you want a high five, right? And then like if they want to, they'll do it back. But like consent is not just sex related. Consent is everything you do. You need consent from people to touch their bodies, to like record their voices. Like we all had to sign consent forms to be on a podcast. Like you need consent for everything, and that's just to make sure that people stay comfortable and like you don't like emotionally damage somebody. And like this stuff, like us being Isabel, aren't you 15?
I'm 14.
She's 14. Okay, that's not okay. Like, could you imagine if that was Isabel and like a teacher came up to her and stuck his hand in her pocket and like felt her thigh, or like looked at her up and down, and he's 50 years old? Does that disgust anybody else? Okay, yeah.
Heavily.
Glad I'm not the only one in the room. But I don't understand why this continues to happen, and it's just guys. Like, I feel like this isn't really a girl. Like, girls do this, I think, sometimes, but it's more of a guy thing towards younger girls.
I just have 2 points. One, the only time I touch my friends and I don't be like, "Hey, I'm going to touch you," is like my friends, and I know that they're okay with it.
Yeah, that's different. You haven't established, like, on the same level type of relationship, but with your teacher, they're a mentor. Like, they're like some of my teachers are the age of my grandparents. Like, that's uncomfy to me.
But like my second point is like just the amount of pictures in public, like we were talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
that I've never had my picture taken in public by a woman. It has always been a man who's been at least twice my age.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. And like sometimes like I've been hit on by like people our age, right? Like you'll go to like downtown days is what we have here for like our carnival in town, and like there'll be a guy there who will like maybe like say a pickup line to me or like come up to me and like offer to buy me something, right? But I've never had anybody my age like take a picture of me or like look me up and down. They just don't do that. Like, and that's shocking to me because they're younger, so they would be stereotyped as more immature than older men. But I think that older men are, listen to me now, just so entitled that they think they are untouchable and nothing is going to happen for it. Whereas, like, with a younger guy, like, we're more likely to call it a younger guy and be like, oh my gosh, don't do that because they're our age. With an older guy, we're less likely to say something about it, and, like, nothing's, like, they're not going to face any repercussions for it, so why stop their actions?
Yeah, because I know at least kids our age, I can be like, yo, I probably know you, so if you do something to harass me or, like, I guess, like, it would really fall under sexual harassment.
Oh, yes,
I
it's
can go to-
100%.
Like, I go to the school,
yeah.
and I'm like, hey, this kid, it wasn't on school property, but this is what he does on his downtime.
Yeah.
Or, it, like you said, at school, who said it, hit on as a freshman by a senior?
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, you go to your principal and you're like, this happened, and they
Yeah.
face repercussions. An adult man, I have no idea who he is. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah, you can't find them.
I-
And, like, do you know how you, like take care of that? Like, how you get them, like, okay, let's say, quote, like, in trouble, right? You have to take them to court. That's the only thing we can do.
Yeah, and legal...
Other
like,
than if it's in, like, a workplace.
taking it to, like, small claims is just, like, that would be, I mean, like, civil court.
You know why? Because they don't care.
It would, nobody's going to take that case.
No, nobody cares. The justice system does not care. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's a little thing. It happened once, right? Nope. Because those are the same people who turn into, like, serial censored rapists and, like, things like that. And we just don't talk about it. So we let it just develop and get worse and worse. And that one guy might do it one time to you, but he's probably done it to 30 other women after you. So I think the real message about that is we need to just say something about it. Because you do have the power. Like, you can say something. I will say I've been guilty of not saying anything and just being a bystander.
My thing is, if it happens to me, I typically don't say anything. If it happens to somebody I know, I don't want to say maternal, but it's almost maternal.
No, I'm
that
like
I
that
have
too.
to step up and do something.
I've said stuff to my, like, for my friends, like, if I see it happen to them, but I've never said something if it, like, just happens to me, which this brings up a great point. I don't feel safe going out in public by myself anymore, like, especially at night. Like, when I was younger, like in middle school, like, okay, yeah, nobody can touch me, like, I rule the world, right? And now that I'm older and, like, I recognize that I have woman features and, like, I'm, like, somewhat, like, pretty, right? Like, I feel, like, a little bit in danger. Like, I worry that, like, because it's realistic, like, people pick up girls and then they're sold into sex. Like, that's real. That happens to people and, like, in this country still. Like, that's crazy to me. And, like, how is it that, like, we can't even walk down the street and feel safe?
I know I have safety items in my car.
Do you?
Yeah, I had pepper spray on my keychain, but I recently, I bought some items off Amazon.
Did you get a taser?
I got a stun gun.
Oh, okay.
Because stun guns can be used, if you're gonna buy anything, buy a stun gun over a taser, because tasers can only be used like 2 or 3 times. Stun guns are just better.
Aren't stun guns, like, farther away from you?
I think too.
Because they say that you're not supposed to use tasers because you have to get, like a foot or two away
you have to be within,
from
like,
somebody.
reaching distance.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, I didn't even buy it. My mom did.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, well, you're going to be alone in your car at night. And I was like, I have an older brother. They kind of just sat there and they were like, bye.
Yeah.
Like, Charlie, do you, I mean, obviously, like, you're not driving by yourself, but
I don't even have a permit yet.
do you feel like you can go out in public?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you'll need a stun gun in your car?
No.
Because you're, like, scared of people?
No, I'm a pacifist anyway.
Oh my gosh, I've never actually talked to a guy about this before.
That's like, I know, like, they don't have the same issues we do, but that's so weird.
I've
to
never
hear,
heard
like,
anybody, like, confirm that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, yeah.
That's weird
There
to
was
be like,
this,
oh yeah, I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
this YouTube short I watched a while back from this YouTuber called Call Me Chris. It was
Oh my
comparing,
gosh,
like,
yes.
how
Yes.
women go out running to how men go out
I've
running.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Throughout
no.
this- yeah.
Give us some context on it, Charlie.
Throughout this whole video, like, it's constantly switching perspectives. The woman, she carries a taser, pepper spray, mace, stun gun. She's bringing her earbuds, but she only takes out one. The inner monologue says,
Yep.
so I can be ready for danger.
Yep, I
and
only
then the
keep
dude
one
just
earbud
takes
in.
his phone, earbuds, keys. I'm out. See ya. Cheers.
I will say one of the reasons I only wear one AirPod in the school hallway is so nobody can come up and like shock me or surprise me like that. Because like that happens in school. Like there have been people who have been sexually harassed in our school. And like things obviously happen about it, but like I don't want that to happen to me. And like if it does happen, like I want to know who it was because that's not okay.
Yeah, I stopped wearing headphones unless I'm in class, because, I mean, freshman year we were in COVID, and I looked a little different freshman year.
We all did. Don't worry about it.
And,
Don't worry about it. I burned all my pictures.
yeah, no, I was a little freshman year.
Oh.
And, yeah, don't get me started on that either.
Okay.
All of a sudden, because there were so many less of us in schools, they kind of just like mixed us all almost. Like instead of being like divided by grade level, we kind of just were like all shoved in the same classes because there were only half of us at school on like each day. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I know what
talking
you're
about?
talking about. We did like A and B days.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like our art classes all of a sudden were like freshmen through seniors when typically they would try to do it so like one art class would be like freshmen, maybe a few sophomores that they needed to throw in there. And I remember I was walking and I had one headphone in because that was just like natural to me. I felt like I was unsafe with two.
Yeah.
And I just heard behind me like the most outrageous things said about me. And I was terrified because it was some kid I didn't know.
Will you share what was it?
I don't even remember what it was, but it was like,
Did it have to do with like your body or your appearance?
he said my boobs looked good in my shirt. And
And he was your age?
no. This guy, I think it was like his senior year.
Like
'cause
an upperclassman?
Yeah.
Gross.
And I was just terrified. And I
Yeah.
just kept walking.
I mean, yeah, you're 14.
And like ever since then, I can't walk with headphones in at school because I'm like, what happens if they say something about me? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like something definitely happened to me to where now I walk with one, but like one earbud in. But I don't, like, I can't really remember what it was. I'm sure there was something because I don't know why else I would only use one.
Like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't even said to me, but it was very obvious it was about me because we were in the industrial tech hallway and I was the only girl at the minute. Like, literally, there were like 6 of us in the hallway, plus a teacher, plus my teacher. My teacher said something.
Oh, that's good.
I think he was like, "Come on."
Oh, it was a male teacher?
Yeah.
Good for him.
He was like, "Come on, guys, don't say something like that." And
But that's ever as far as it goes.
but like, dude, like looked at me, looked to his friends, and was like, "Her boobs look really good in that shirt." I didn't wear that shirt again. I recently wore that shirt for the first time since freshman year.
Wow.
And it wasn't even like it's like literally like a long sleeve shirt. It's striped. Like it's not really like a cute pattern, but it's been in the back of my closet. I hadn't worn it since.
Yeah.
And I found it a week ago and I was like, "Oh, why haven't I worn this shirt? It's cute. I really like it." And then I remembered and I was like, because I felt so unsafe in it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. But that does kind of like bring us back to like that whole thing of guys don't realize the impact of what they say at all. A lot of people don't, but like I feel like specifically it's men with women. They do not realize that, oh, this one comment could change a girl's like life for Lauren 4 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, what if that was one of your favorite shirts?
And I mean, it wasn't necessarily like my favorite shirt, but I feel like I liked it because it was
Yeah.
like really soft
And that's them making you uncomfortable in your own skin at 14 years old, which I know people say you control how you feel, right? You're 14, you're a child. You shouldn't have to worry about people sexualizing your body, especially when it has to do with your clothing, which is something you are figuring out at that age, and you don't really know what fits you and what feels comfortable.
So again, Charlie.
I spaced out for a solid minute.
We're talking about Lauren's shirt.
So,
Yeah.
I know, I read online, because, teenagers were online. I saw a post from a man who was like, some woman comments on my shirt about how I look good in it. I'm going to wear this shirt every day for the rest of my life.
But that's because it's a genuine compliment, I want to stress.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
get that it's a compliment. But I could be like, Charlie, you look so good in that shirt.
Ew.
And you would be like...
Yeah, you say it like that. If you go up and talk to me, I'm going to take an earbud out because I want to hear what you're about to say. You say that to me, I'm going to put my earbud back in. And
You're
just
going to walk away. Well,
All Your Friends is a far better song than listening to whatever you're on
okay,
about.
Charlie, that actually makes me think of something because they say girls are more sensitive, right? We are. I would say that's an accurate statement, and that applies here. If you say something like that to Charlie, Charlie, it's probably not going to affect you too much, right? I mean, it
Probably
might
not.
if it was something a little bit deeper, but
I'll probably
something
forget
about
about it.
So yeah, something about your shirt, you're not going to think about it because, I mean, girls are just genuinely more overthinkers, more sensitive, right? And we're going to think about that the rest of the day,
yeah, that's
the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year.
That's where I was going with it. I was like,
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be like, I'm going to make him a little uncomfortable for 10, 15 seconds. He's going to turn around. He's going to walk away.
Yeah.
And he's not going to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But if something like that was said to me, especially, I pulled that shirt. Something said to me in that voice, especially
Ew.
with obviously you can't see, I made a face too.
Yeah.
That would make me so uncomfortable for
Mhm.
if I ever saw you in the hallway again, I would take a different route to class.
Yeah. And men, I don't understand why they think we're dumb and we don't read their tone and their facial expression and all that, because my mom likes to tell me it's not what you said, it's how you said it and how it made the other person feel. That's what matters, not what you said. And I think about that every day in my life. That is one of the most true things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I really try to work on it. I definitely am not too good about it. My tone definitely is not great sometimes, and I really try to be aware of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is something that needs to be said to a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's okay, Lauren, because are you 17 or 18?
I'm 17.
Yeah, you're young. I am too. I'm over here sitting I'm old AF. I am 18 years old, too stressed. But I feel I've had a lot more, I felt I had to grow up faster, with my family situation. And it's okay. We're young and we need to recognize we're going to make mistakes. But when it comes down to it, we're talking about 50-year-old men making mistakes right now, not...
Yeah, we're talking about people that have been alive for more than...
They know what they're doing is wrong.
For half a century.
Yeah, they know.
And I'm just do some math real quick. 17 times 3.
You pull up your math, Isabel.
They are triple my age. Most of these
Ouch.
people are triple
Ouch.
my age.
Mm-hmm. Charlie, I do want to ask you because I feel this entire episode, you kind of you sit back, you listen, you watch, and you're just more of an observer kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it is that you're doing that so much instead of maybe putting forth any ideas you have?
It feels like the proper thing to do.
Really?
I mean, I'm a dude, ain't I?
Yeah, you are.
It's not important what I have to say. My best move is just to step aside, let you speak,
Aw, thanks, Charlie.
say your thing.
Charlie
I mean-
is a girl's boy. Let's,
Charlie's a girl's boy.
I'm me. I am me.
Ellie, I feel is definitely a girl's girl. Charlie
Hey.
is a girl's boy.
Oh. Yeah,
That
but-
look!
I mean,
Oh, no.
okay, I think Charlie is a great example of something else I feel is really prevalent with women. Charlie's not a mansplainer.
Yes.
Charlie is a very good listener. And I'm not saying that just men need to be listeners of women. Women also need to listen to men. This is why we have Men's Mental Health Month and all those things like that, right? We need to be better listeners. And let me tell you, some of those guys who look at us and make those comments that are 50 years old, they are so entitled, they think they get to tell us what we wear to school. Those are the same people.
I will definitely be a woman in STEM, getting a bachelor's of science.
Everybody applause.
And so I love when I'd be like in the IT hallway and they'd be like, "Oh, choir's that way," or like, "Oh, you passed the theater room." I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm going here," and they're like, "He teaches civil engineering and architecture. He teaches POE. Do you know that?" "Yes, sir. I've been in this class for 3 years."
Yeah.
He's literally setting me up to get an internship like in my field.
Yeah.
This man has looked out for me day one and goes, "If you pass, you're more likely to get a scholarship than any of these guys." And he was like, "And I'll come to your graduation, none of theirs."
Oh, you.
And I was like, I always sit there and I'm like, "Sir, I guarantee I know more about this than you do."
Yeah. I think personally, so like I'm going to be a journalism major next year. And at school, like I basically like run our journalism, like our student journalism program stuff. And there's so many times I've had men try to like explain things to me in like professional fields too. And I'm just like, I know what you're talking about. Or they'll be surprised I know more than they do. And I think a lot of it is based off of like how I dress and how I look. Because I mean, like Lauren, you described me as like a girl's girl, right? Like you'd say like I like to do my hair, I like to do my makeup.
No,
like,
I meant it was like you're a girl that will like definitely support women.
Oh, okay, got you.
Like I may be using the term wrong. I thought it meant like girls that like will always support
No, I
girls.
think you're right. I think I misinterpreted.
Oh, okay.
Either way, I like to dress very like girl, however you want to describe that, like preppy, right? And I think they think I'm dumb because of it. And so then when I open my mouth and they're surprised that I have like a 4.0 and I'm taking college classes as a senior and I do all that stuff, they get a little shocked. I mean, Isabel, what about you? Have you had any instances of mansplaining yet? Because I know that guy on Team Green, he's kind of a mansplainer.
I probably have, but I probably just haven't realized it. But talking about, like, guys thinking that you're not as smart in school, what I've encountered is, like, boys, they don't pay attention in class. I noticed, like, that more than girls.
Yeah.
And we're always paying attention. So then, like, when we're doing work, guys will be like, "Oh, she's a girl. She must know what she's doing." So they'll try to, like...
They'll cheat off us, too.
Yeah, they'll cheat off me. Like, I had this boy, and he was sitting next to me, and he would cheat off me every day, and I'd try to hide my paper, and he'd be like, "Why can't I just do your paper?" And I'm like, "Because you need to do your own work."
I was actually talking about this with one of my teachers the other day about how another teacher who, like, was in their department didn't say anything about these two boys who were, like, goofing off, right? Because she said... Well, they don't pay attention to what I'm teaching anyway. But they get onto the girls for being on their phones. When, like, we're sending a text, right, to mom. Like, can you, like, Mom, can you bring me a tampon? I started my period. How many people in this room have sent that text message before? Because I definitely have.
Thank God my 11th grade English teacher, I bled through my clothes in class. It was awful. And I actually had to go have my parents bring me different clothes.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what we're on our phones for. It's more important things than, like, what they think it is, and they just let the guys just do whatever they want. Or they don't listen anyway.
Or, like, them telling you, like, you can't go to the bathroom. And, like, I understand, like, boys should be able to go to the bathroom whenever they need to, but, like, sometimes I'm just, like, I literally could, like, unless you want blood on your chair, I need to go to the bathroom.
I have told a man teacher before, I need to go to the bathroom, and they've told me no, and I've pulled out my tampon, and I said, I have an emergency, I am bleeding, like, I need to go to the bathroom. And then they get really uncomfortable about it, and defensive, and want to act like they didn't do that.
Yeah, today?
Off topic.
Okay. Off topic. The hygiene drive. One of my friends is, like, leading it.
Yeah.
And she pulled a box of tampons out of, like, the supply drive. And my co-mentor, she went up to him and was like, "Can you pose with this for a picture?"
Oh, my
And he was like, "No."
Nuh-uh.
And gave her, like, the most uncomfortable look, and I jokingly was like, oh, because it's because you hate women. Like, that's just something I like say to my friends. I'll be like, oh, it's because you hate women. And he was like, I have a wife and a daughter and a mother and a sister.
Just because you know
And
women.
I was like, I looked at my friend and I was like, so you know women, but you didn't say anything about hating women.
Yeah.
Okay.
That, no. Mm-mm.
Like, I meant it jokingly and he took it so
That's like
seriously.
what people say. Like, they'll make a joke. Have you ever heard people, like, make a joke and they'll be like, I have a gay friend.
They'll be like,
Or I have a brown friend.
I can say this because my best friend's
No,
gay.
you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, I don't like it when.
Like, I understand, okay, maybe you made a joke about something and it probably wasn't the smartest thing to say. Okay, apologize from it, move on. But sometimes you cross the line and there's no going back, especially with stuff like that.
That's just when you say sorry and you move on. You're like, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah. I think that should be the lesson of this episode. Sorry.
Yes.
You should say sorry more often and be accountable for your actions.
Follow rule
Listen.
number 2.
Yeah. Listen.
What's rule number 2?
Don't be a knob.
Don't be a knob.
Just listen to people, apologize when needed, and just like try to grow.
Yeah, like learn from your mistakes. And honestly, if you're 50 years old, you've made enough mistakes, so just stop.
You shouldn't be attracted
Just
to
stop.
teenagers.
Yeah, if you're attracted to teenagers, honestly, what are you doing with your life? But I didn't say that. Isabel, any closing remarks?
Not really. Just don't say weird things about women. Don't sexualize us. Just let us
If
live our
you-
lives.
If you don't want somebody to say that to your mom, your daughter, your sister, probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for listening to I Can Relate. Again, I'm Ellie.
Lauren.
Isabel.
And although I wasn't introduced, my name is Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie. Thank you.